Hello, welcome.
Γεια σας και καλώς ορίσατε. Today I'm cooking a regional fish dish from the tiny island of Spetse.
Spetse. Now tell me about, no, not about the island, but about the fish dish. What do they do in Spetse?
What do they do in Spetse? Well,
as far as fishes are concerned.
Unfortunately, I haven't been to Spetse,
right.
but they do eat a lot of fish.
Yes, because it's an island.
It's an island, so they do.
How do they cook it?
In different ways, but this way I'm cooking it today is with lots of herbs and tomatoes, some wine and olive oil, and then topped with breadcrumbs and cooked in the oven. And I'm also going to make lovely fried onion rings, you know, flambé in ouzo and chilies.
What on earth am I going to match this with? Well, I was thinking of serving up an interesting little cocktail of a Greek wine, an Italian wine, and a French wine, but I'm thinking, ouzo, how are they going to cope? Anyway, to start with, we've got a film of you, and this is, I think, with Rosemary Barron.
That's right.
Cooking red mullet.
Yeah, my favourite fish.
Yeah, wonderful, isn't it?
For this dish...
barbouni. You know, Greeks love barbouni. They pay a fortune for barbouni.
Yes. Well, it's the most beautiful fish in the Mediterranean, isn't it? It's, even, you know, in antiquity, they talk about barbouni costing... One decent-sized barbouni used to cost more than a slave. So...
I didn't think much of the slaves, then.
I think so. We need barbouni, which I've asked the fishmonger to clean, but I ask him to leave the heads and tails on.
Because that's very Greek. You cannot give a Greek man a fish without the head.
And the scales are rubbed off. We have some flour, and we're going to season the flour with sea salt, plenty of sea salt, good seasoning, pepper, and we're going to
just toss them, yes?
Just lightly toss them.
Again, that's a very Greek way to cook fish. Very simple.
Very, very simple.
But when your fish is so fresh, you don't need any other recipes, really, sauces and things.
For this dish, pan frying technique is slightly different because we have to control the olive oil carefully still, but we get rid of the first olive oil that we fry the fish in. So we warm up saute pan, frying pan, add enough olive oil to cover the bottom of the pan, wait till we get the aroma
of the olive oil coming through.
But before smoking.
Before smoking, yeah.
So we wait till we get the aroma and we swish it around the pan a little. Use a nice heavy pan, that way your food doesn't burn. Put the first one in. Check it's sizzling before you add the others.
Otherwise it stops them cooking,
It stops them.
That's the reason we do that.
And we'll keep an eye on them because they're delicate fish. They don't take too long to cook. So we'll keep an eye on them, but we won't let them, we don't want them to cook too hard because that ruins the flavour of the olive oil again. But we need to keep them on a nice gentle sizzle. This is quite an interesting dish because it's one that when you cook the fish, you can either serve them straight away,
or keep it,
or you can pour. You can put them in a dish and add anything. Yes, from a couple of days up to a week.
Right.
Let's have a look at what they look like underneath. Please, could you do me a favour and hold on to the handle?
Yes.
And let me see if I can lift it up and see how well cooked it is underneath. Oh, a little bit longer. I'll just cook it up. And you know the reason why rosemary is used in this dish? Because in the last few years they've done an awful lot of research, well actually the last part of the century, an awful lot of research into the use of herbs in cookery. And they've discovered that a lot of the herbs used in Greek cookery in ancient times and through history had properties that made the dish keep and made the dish what it was.
All right, so they were very clever.
They're
in
very,
the
very
early
clever.
days.
They certainly
we're
were.
only just finding out about it.
Exactly. We eat it for flavour. They ate it because they knew that it was a way of keeping. And rosemary contains what's called an antioxidant. It means that the food doesn't go bad. but they've only just worked it out. So I think we've got to look to the past.
And you must love rosemary because you've got the same name.
Oh, well, yes. Yes, I do like it. It's a lovely herb. Right.
Now you
please hang on again and let me see, have another look.
We don't want any accidents.
No, we don't. We want to eat our food. I think we still need to get a little browner. These are plump barbunia. I'll pour them. I think it's the cooking out in the fresh air that's doing this.
They want to go back to the sea,
and
it's only here. They don't have long far to go. So the fish is ready to be turned now?
I think it is. The flour's getting nice and brown, and it's looking nice and brown on the underside. So let's have a go. If you'd like to take the handle, I will try and flick them over. Whoops. I think they might be, yes, they're good.
Yeah, they're looking
getting a nice colour. And we'll flick them over. Continue cooking till they're nice and brown on the other side.
You want to cook both sides?
Yes.
Okay.
And the flour gets nice and nutty.
Now, I'd be happy to eat it just like this with some lemon juice.
Yeah. Oh, it's lovely that way too. Right, let's get them out of the pan.
All right.
Onto paper, because we don't really want this olive oil that they've cooked in. It's... Uh-oh, that one's a bit broken. That one we might be eating cold.
Yeah, we
tomorrow.
won't give this to the guests.
Right.
We'll eat that one.
We'll eat that one.
We'll eat that one.
This olive oil we don't want,
No.
but we want the brown bits.
That's right.
In it to get the flavour. So please, if you just pass me that bowl over there,
No.
I'm going to pour off as much as I can, but I'm not going to worry too much about it because it does give that flavour. And we've carefully cooked the barbuni, so we haven't burnt them. So we've still got some flour in the pan.
And all the flavour of the barbuni is there, and you want to keep it. It's like making gravy, really.
That's right. It's exactly the same principle.
That's right.
So we take red wine vinegar.
Now it's going to sizzle, isn't it?
It is.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
So I'm going to keep away.
It's called deglazing.
Shall I hold the pan for
Please,
you,
that'd be
actually,
great.
because it's a bit difficult.
Add the vinegar. It's called deglazing, and what it does is it gets all the goodness. You say it's like making gravy. You get all the goodness off the sides of a dish.
And the flour that we cook our fish will thicken the sauce.
That's right. And it makes it. We mix it all in, get rid of the lumps. And now, please, if you would pour some of the some fresh olive oil, which is in the jug.
Oh, so we put fresh
and I'll
olive
keep
oil
stirring.
now. You don't use the
It's
one
lovely.
that you.
Well, you can measure in the Greek
fish.
style and keep on pouring till you're fed up. And
Just tell me
more.
when.
A little bit, right? And I'm going to add some fresh rosemary and heat it through, just as much as I want. Heat it through, let it flavour the oil. And you see it separating here, which is fine.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine.
It will thicken later.
And we're going to keep it so that it doesn't. It's now just coming up to the sizzle, and that's it. That's done.
It, it's finished?
That's finished. So we're going to turn the heat off.
Shall I put the fish in a clean plate now?
That would be lovely.
Yes.
And
I'm going to use my hands.
That's fine.
There we are.
Then we add the sauce.
I'll put it down for you here. There we are.
Can you smell the rosemary now? The heat coming out.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Isn't that lovely?
Well,
so
I
we'll
love
add the
rosemary.
sauce. I like to pour it over the fish because I like the flavour of the...
Oh, yes, I can smell it now.
Add the rosemary too. Can you smell it now? No, we'll bring it up.
So rosemary is not just good for meat, it's good for
It's good for fish too, and that's exactly why I like to make the two olive oils, because you get that delicate, you catch the delicate flavour of the rosemary that you wouldn't in the olive oil that's been used to fry. So, fish is ready to serve.
All we have to do is sit down and enjoy it.
Sit down and enjoy it. That's exactly what we do.
It must have been quite difficult cooking on that wobbly little camping gas thing.
It was
Beautiful
actually,
view, though.
and very dangerous, but we managed not to get burned or hurt. But the view, Charles, the view was out of this world. Lovely. And you kept seeing it was next to the sea, so you saw the little boats with the fishermen going by. And I wanted to join them, not being in front of the camera.
Well, look, I'm going to leave you to do another island dish.
Yes.
Have fun with your halibut from Spetse.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you later.
See you later. Okay, let's get with our recipe. So here we've got about 8 ounces of halibut steak. So you can use any other firm fish you like, cod or hake. You can actually use whole fish as well. Right, this is iboglossa in Greek. Halibut is called iboglossa in Greek. Now, first of all, we have to sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice. Greeks always sprinkle lemon juice before they cook fish. It firms it up. And a little bit of salt and pepper. This is a very easy recipe to do and very fast, and it's also very delicious. The next thing we need is 7 ounces of fresh chopped tomatoes, but you can use tinned tomatoes, it doesn't matter, but I think fresh tomatoes, especially plum tomatoes, are really, really nice. Also, we need about 3 fluid ounces of olive oil, not virgin olive oil, just olive oil. We're also going to add 1 clove of garlic, finely chopped, and another fabulous thing, white wine, which I love. And I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley. That will give it color and flavor. And I'm going to season this dressing as well, if we can call it dressing or sauce. And then all you need to do is pour it on top of your fish. Simple as that. Now, we finish with fresh breadcrumbs. And you just put it on top of the fish, and that will create a lovely crust on top of the fish after it's been cooked. Isn't it simple? Now, all we need to do is place it in the oven, 190, gas mark 5, for only 20 minutes, because fish doesn't need a lot of time to cook. Of course, if you're using whole fish, it takes a little bit longer, so you probably need to cook it for 30 minutes. I'm going to place this in the oven and bring the one out I prepared earlier. And here we have it. Doesn't it look gorgeous? And the smells are beautiful. And the colors as well. You've got all the Mediterranean colors in there. And it's so easy to make. Now, we're going to take a small break now, but after the break, I'm going to show you how to fry some onion rings, flambé in ouzo. Doesn't that sound fabulous? So join me after the break. See you later.